you're obsessed with the Connie Pheiff Show. It's about a lifestyle shift to move up or out.
Hey, what's your jam? What's the one thing that really drives you? What makes you unstoppable?
It's about opening a new door to live your dream.
People give up way too early on their dreams.
It's about enjoying the journey. It's about keeping it real.
Damn, now the interviewee is interviewing the interviewer. I like this.
It's all about you.
I knew there was something else I wanted to do. Stop taking shit so seriously. Y'all can do this. Take an outrageous look at life and laugh.
This is the Connie Pheiff Show.
We love your voice. We love your jam. You need to be on radio.
And now your host, Connie Pheiff.
Well, hello there. You're listening to the Connie Pheiff Show. So today, let's start by saying, look at Derek. He looks great. We were just talking about who's ready, who's not, and I was ripping clothes off. But he always looks fabulous. So what I want to do today really is, first I want to ask you all to share this video. I want you to share this video because we're going to have some amazing giveaways. And we started this recently on the show, giving things away to people that are sharing our show. And it's just been amazing. So, Derek, what do you think? Do you have anything that you want to give away? A t-shirt, a book? I mean, anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we have tons of cool prizes right now. If you go on to our social media and do the Scrimmage face-off, it's around hockey. We have a whole contest around that where we're doing t-shirts and drones and other kinds of fun prizes related to technology. So you'll learn with us and also get the chance to win not just a t-shirt, but all kinds of cool things if you actually engage both with your show and with our company. So
remember to do that. We want you to share, and engage. We're going to share more about that in a minute, about Scrimmage. So, our guest is Derek Lundsten, and be sure to tag him as well when you're doing this share. And like he said, head on over to his space, his platform, and we got a lot of goodies out there for you. So I bet you want to know what we're all about and really what the heck are you listening to the Connie Pheiff Show for? And let me tell you, it's because we are a business radio show where we get a bit edgy, where we're definitely unscripted, unedited. I mean, we give it to you. Good and bad, we share it all. We talk about, talk about how you can really move your shut up in the C-suite or get out, live, and fulfill your dream of business ownership. And today we're going to talk about how you can play at work, how you can really have fun at work, making money, and really doing what it is that you want to be doing. Because at the Connie Pheiff Show, we're all about keeping the passion of life activated for the world's most daring mind. So remember, you got to share. Oh my gosh, I've just been doing this for a long time. Let's focus. Let's get back to focus here. So our guest today is Derek Lundsten. He's the CEO of Scrimmage. He's got so much going on. He's got the Abundance Impact Challenge that he just mentioned, so make sure that you check that out. But okay, Derek, everybody wants to know how do we make learning fun? And why work can be fun as well. So what's your magic for that? Yeah, so it's a couple different things. So first off, you look fabulous, Connie. I have to say that. Oh, well, thank you.
But yeah, so we make learning fun by making it personalized to the user, right? So everybody learns different ways. Some people like to play games, and you can learn via games. Some people like to, do adventure type of opportunities where they're scavenging, so to speak, for lessons. Mm-hmm. Other people like to learn in the real world, right? To participate and do it, whether it be in simulations or actually going out and applying the skills. And some people, it's more traditional. They prefer to read. They prefer to, talk with their peers. They want to discuss things. So the idea is to provide a modality for people to learn in the way that's most conducive to their style, and also to provide content in a way that people can find it when they need it or whenever they're interested in it, and to indulge that natural curiosity. So that's the first piece. And then the way we make it fun within our company in particular is we allow people to access it, via their phones and their tablets. So the idea being that wherever in the world you are, no matter if you're, in Europe or you're in South America, and you're kind of going between a vacation to your business, to your meetings, whatever it is. Work and life is very much fluid today, right? And so the idea is, how can we make learning part of that daily flow of your activities, whether it be when you're doing your job or when you're out with your friends or whatever it may be. You have these devices with you all the time. And so creating it in a way that's both accessible and engaging based on your style is how we do that with Scrimmage. And so that's something that, and obviously learning and playing and the idea of curiosity and, again, having fun at work are all some things that we stand for with Scrimmage, and how you can apply it into your own business and your own life.
And I hear what you're saying for sure. With my entrepreneurial business, I've been doing this for 12 years, or even before when I was running organizations, I always added that element of fun into it, fun at learning, fun at work, and it really created for a more highly productive team. Now, I'll play devil's advocate because I could hear some good old boys saying, I don't want people having fun. I want them working. So how do you overcome that type of objection?
So that's, I think, it's not so much an objection. I think there's an expectation from how we used to work. And the reality is, before, we used to go into an office, we'd sit there for 8 hours a day. We'd spend half that time in meetings, and the other half of the time at the water cooler or socializing, right? The difference is that now we're not confined to being in an office for 8 hours a day. You can see what people are doing and how they're getting their work done because of all the different software that's available. You can check how they're doing their tasks. You can check that they're getting stuff done on time. You can see communicating with whom. So there's all sorts of new ways to measure how people are getting work done. And that allows leadership and managers within today's companies to be much more open and flexible to where, when, and what schedule people get their jobs done. Right. So the idea is that, you could, if you're a mother and you're taking your kids to daycare at 8 a.m., which would be a time that people might typically go to the office, they might get work done at 6 o'clock in the morning. They might get work done at 10 o'clock at night. If you're a morning person, if you're a night owl, you might find that your peak energy times or your peak productivity times are different. So the opportunity is now we can work around other people's schedules to maximize their level of contribution. And as long as the work is getting done, right, in today's day and age, we're very concerned about results and ROI. We can see that more clearly than ever before. So as long as you have that speaks to the old school business leaders that you talk about. Right. The reality is that we live in a new world, and companies that want to adapt and lead in the future need to adapt to new world thinking and new world management philosophies, and empower and entrust their people to do their jobs well and give them the tools to do it well.
Yeah, there's definitely more of that open space culture that's happening in organizations. I was in a business recently, and I was in one very similar to this maybe 10 years ago, but it's taking some people a lot longer to get there, where they're mobile. There's no cubicles. Everything's down. Even down to the CEO's got a mobile desk right in the center of the room, and everybody's just kind of moving in, plugging in wherever they're moving their desk to. So, rather than moving everything to shift and go work at a team, they're literally just moving the whole desk. Right. And that was really impressive. And I'm like, how do you get up that escalator?
So take it a step further, right? Because that's kind of the transitional period, is mobility in the office. Now you look at mobility outside the office. Like with these computers, these phones that we have are the equivalent of computers of a few years ago. We can do everything you need to do on your phone, whether it be working on Microsoft Documents or Google Documents, creating slides, communicating in real time. You can do all of that via your phones, and you can airdrop it onto the TV screen or the monitor in whatever hotel you're staying in. And right there, you've got a screen even bigger than your laptop, right? And we can then work in real time, as an example. And just look at companies like WeWork, right? They're in 27 countries. Yeah. We can come and go to those different offices all over the world and work with different people in those offices. And I think that it's creating an even greater opportunity for people to collaborate, work together outside of the confines of the office. Starbucks has done a great job over the last 10 years of making that the place to spend time. So many people get done meetings now in coffee shops or in restaurants and hotels at the same time. For sure. Work done, right? It's crazy. You can get so much work done wherever now.
Yeah, Starbucks is my office away from home. I just walk into yep, we know what your tea is. we know what you have, and I get so much work there. And even where I live in LA, where I'm in a condo complex, and we actually have a whole office and video room. And I could be in the gym, which I have done. I could be in the gym getting my workout and be on a business call.
Yeah, or a podcast. We could be learning.
A podcast,
right there. You can listen to a podcast or an audiobook while you're on the treadmill.
Right. And, so I've done that, but you're right. I mean, we're so mobile that we can go back and forth, even for my show. And I shared with you earlier, and, we're going to be going to the East Coast. So we're going to have 2 locations.
Right.
So you just never know when I need to jump in the studio here or jump in the studio there. But like you said, if I'm out and if I run into somebody or meet somebody, I'll just pull my phone out and do a quick chat. And to make it even sound better, I have this $20 little microphone I plug into my phone to make it really look professional. And, I'll do a 5-10 minute chat with somebody if I run into them. So it's taken my show to a whole new level, but businesses are able to do that as well. I have, between my production team, my business manager, so I have a crew. There is no one even remotely close to me. I have from Barcelona to the Carolinas to New York City, Oklahoma. They're all over.
Yeah.
And the funny part is they drive me crazy because most of them are millennials and they just want to be texting or they just want to be emailing. And I'm like, I'm still a little bit of old school. I'm like, could you pick up the phone?
Right. I understand. But they're working all the time, right? The text messages
they can text are
at night, 11 o'clock at night, right?
They are. I'll get up because I get up early for the gym anyway. I'm up at 4 a.m. But there's already a workload of material in my inbox from them working for whatever hours that they work.
Exactly.
And so I might not be able to get them on, to talk to them directly face to face, but the work's always done. And so
that's the exact quote. I'm going to put that. The work's always done.
The work's always done. So as much as I bitch and complain that they don't want to talk to me, if I send them an email, they're like, okay, it's done. And I get it right back. So that's all I can ask.
Invite them on your podcast, Connie. You'll get them for a whole half an hour.
Yeah, that's right. I'll get them all. I need to get them all on there at the same time.
Exactly.
We'll see how it goes. But again, that, like you said, that's the different way of people doing work. So the one in Barcelona emailed me and she said, well, I'm going to be going this week to Australia. But don't worry, I'll still be working. And again, she's my business manager. And I'm like, okay.
How's that going? Is she getting it done? Is she getting the work done?
She's today's a travel day. She left last night their time. So today is a travel day. So, I typically know when traveling is happening. It is a little bit slower, but again, it's still gets done.
Yeah.
So again, you can quote that, it's still because of the time difference is also beneficial because she's 8 hours ahead of me.
Exactly.
So she's always like, okay, and maybe she doesn't do it in the moment, but she also knows she has 8 hours to get it done before I catch up to her.
Yeah. And I think the one thing that's actually, so I think you kind of touched on this, it forces us to communicate in different means, right? So there's actually more frequent communication happening all the time via text message or via Slack or via social media, or whatever it is, or whatever project management tools you're using. So you might be communicating literally all day long, as opposed to having, a call at one point in the day or, check in periodically. And I think there's room for that too, right? I think it just goes back to optimizing communication for whatever works best for the people on the team, as well as for the company. But it's ultimately requiring us to get better at communicating expectations, timelines, how we put the processes together and all that. And I think this is going to be something that continues to evolve and we get better at as a society and as a workforce over the next 5 to 10 years, particularly as we get even more technology kind of into the picture around, virtual reality and augmented reality and all the other cool things that are happening with machine learning and just technology getting smarter and making that even easier for us.
And I do see that happening in technology, again, being smarter. For me, I just don't want us to lose that personal connection, though.
Totally agree.
It just makes a difference when you could have a conversation with somebody and pick it up and run with it. But going back,
I'm glad you raised that because that actually is exactly you mentioned the Abundance Impact Challenge. That is exactly what Life Guides, the other company that I'm involved in, does. Right, we're actually using technology to match people to have a real human connection,
right?
A real human conversation on a particular challenge that someone's having on their life with someone who's gone through that particular challenge and is now thriving. And so the opportunity is that people can give back, so to speak, on their experience, their lessons to people who are going through that, and they can help each other improve their own lives and their situation.
Yeah, that personal connection is so important. I mean, I'll tell you, maybe I'm again sounding old school, but
not at all.
But the thing that bites my ass the worst is when I need to talk to somebody and they say, "Oh, well, click here and you'll get a robotic response." And I'm just like,
yeah,
I need to talk to someone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't want to name. I mean, there's many companies that do that now.
Yeah.
Facebook is number one. You just don't get a response. There still needs to be that level of customer service that has to really be a part of what it is that you're doing. Yeah, I understand that we're really, the evolution of technology and it's adding on more. But again, this is a lot, where we start breaking down when we don't have that personal connection with each other.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's a huge opportunity for us as a society to keep cultivating that as a shared intelligence, particularly as we get more and more reliant upon technology in the business world. That's still a huge skill set, right? The emotional intelligence and the adaptability aspects of being human beings is a key part of what will allow you to still succeed in the technologically underlying world, right?
Right. And I know that that's what your abundance impact is all about. But let's take a really quick break and we'll be right back and we'll continue our conversation.
Sounds great.
The Connie Pheiff Show is heard everywhere. You can find The Connie Pheiff Show on most of your favorite networks. It's time to now recognize and thank our major networks for all of their support. In the house, we have Conscious Business Radio, C-Suite Radio, Transformation Radio, iHeartRadio. We are also heard on Google Play, Apple, Radio, Stitcher, and so many more that I just can't keep up with them all. I'm Connie Pheiff, your unstoppable diva. Learn more about our gym and how we can work together at my fancy schwanky website, ConniePheiffShow.com. I'll see you over there. Until then, like, share. Now back to the show. And we're back and you're listening to the Connie Pheiff Show. So remember to share. And today I am chatting with our unstoppable guest, Derek Lundsten. So Derek, I know you have a little girl, so congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a fun 13 months watching that whole process unfold. It's only getting more and more interesting with every day.
So she's walking or running now?
Oh, she's still crawling at the moment.
Is she? Okay.
Herself up, but I expect any day now she's going to start walking around. So
nice.
Like her dad, she'll be running shortly thereafter. So
great. Well, you have a lot going on. So finish this question for me. Finish this sentence for me. I am unstoppable because
I love working with people and I love connecting people to complement their best strengths.
So what is that moment, that event in your life that really had the greatest impact?
So everyone asks me this all the time. And my answer to that question is there's no single event or single moment in my life, Connie. I think that's that was someone asking me that question about being an entrepreneur specifically. And what I've said that there's never been a single moment, so to speak, where it's been the moment. And I think that when I was in my early 20s, I was always looking for the moment. Right. And it was always eluding me on some level. And so what happened was I kind of released my attachment to that single moment. And what I found is that there's been moment after moment after moment after moment that connects, back to the Steve Jobs thing, they connect. And you see that in hindsight. Right. But when it's happening, you don't necessarily appreciate the gravity of how impactful that is. Right. So, I mean, I could go back to relationships that I've developed that led into jobs, that led into me, finding my now wife, that led into me deciding to become a father, that led into me starting a business. I mean, those are all significant moments that have led to who I am today. And there's I'm probably going to have to write a book about it at some point. So I'll come to you for advice on the moments.
I loved what you said about you released the moment.
Yeah.
we need to quote that one. But you released that moment, waiting for that moment to happen. You just released it. And I mean, you just opened up all possibilities to happen for you.
Maybe that's the exact question about how I became unstoppable. I released my limitation for one moment and recognized that I have infinite moments. Right? So,
wow.
And we all do in that regard.
That was deep. That was deep.
I don't know about that. I'll take it. Thank you.
No, really. I mean, if that's, one of the things that our listeners take away today, is to release the moment, stop waiting and looking for it to happen. Just release it. So you've been an entrepreneur for quite some time. Yeah. So has it all been like rosy?
Absolutely not. Yeah. I mean, so back to those moments. I mean, I think it's like the Wizard of Oz, right? I mean, like we're like a duck. Like they look graceful on the surface, but they're paddling feverishly beneath the water, right? It's the same thing in entrepreneurship. I mean, when I talked about this with my mentors and friends, everything we see right now on social media is all the glitz and glamour of being an entrepreneur. Yes. The speaking events and the fancy cars and houses and the wealth that's created. And I mean, some people do achieve that. And there are financial benefits and freedoms to being an entrepreneur. But I would argue the case that being an entrepreneur is at least in the, call it the first decade of entrepreneurship,
right,
is by no means a free experience. And it's still not after the fact, because you're still beholden to your customers and making sure that you're over-delivering for them. You are responsible for the people on your team or teams in your organizations. You're responsible for learning and developing the skills to continue to always improve. And you're responsible for the mistakes that you make along the way, because you haven't developed those skills, or you have those blind spots that just naturally come year after year, month after month after day, as you are along the path in entrepreneurship. And so what I would say is that it's this roller coaster, so to speak, of emotions, and the just grit to hang on and go for the ride, and to have the stomach to go through the ups and downs, and to recognize that, someone said to me at one point, don't get too emotional when you're up and don't get too emotional when you're down. Just ride that wave of neutrality and just enjoy the lessons of what you're experiencing and how you're applying those lessons continually to get better and better and better. So to be clear, I would not do it differently again. I enjoyed that process. There's been moments where it's been incredibly challenging, where you think you literally, your body thinks you're going to die because you're so stressed out. Yeah. But because you're worried about financials, you're worried about taking care of your team. And it's literally, you're not going to, right? You know physically it's not a mortal situation, but you feel it, biologically in your brain, like it's such an overwhelming moment. And I think that the best entrepreneurs that I know are people that continually push themselves to get through those moments of discomfort, find the next level, dig in, and take away a lesson that they can learn, and just to literally keep going. No matter how much you want to quit, or how much something tells you to stop, I'm a big believer that as long as you're alive, truly, you have the ability to find a solution to move forward. And I think that that's underappreciated or underestimated by anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur, including myself, as I'm giving this advice, just to be clear, because I'm sure there'll be more moments along the way where I'll have that feeling again. I'll have to link back and I'll dig into a moment where I had that memory, and I can reapply it and do it. And I think that's just kind of a rule for life in general, probably. But you would probably know better than me, Connie. You're much wiser and have a lot more lessons to give than I do. So what do you think about that answer?
I mean, I'm sitting here saying, yep, that's all true. I mean, I've been doing, this is our 12th year, and I mean, there has definitely been those ups and downs when, you sit there and, like you said, your body is like just saying, I just want to give up. I just can't do this anymore. And let me tell you, it just happened to me last year.
Yeah.
Just last year, we were going great. Everything was fabulous. All of a sudden, the website crashes because we had too many hits to the website. We had almost 1 million hits to the website in 24 hours.
It's a great problem.
Isn't that great? Yeah. So that happens. And because that happened, then we had to postpone our annual event because that was causing an issue with people getting registered. Okay. And fortunately, it was a virtual event. So we didn't, so we said, okay. And then we had to talk to the sponsor. So everything else got postponed until this year. And then a few weeks after that, I get hit with a trademark issue.
Oh, wow.
And I thought I had my ducks in a row and everything was covered. I mean, I work with my attorney on everything. Well, there was a trademark issue where there was a group who had this name and there was an issue with how it was trademarked, and that's why it was never found. So now I had to deal with that whole trademark issue. So yeah, trust me, last summer I took a break. I'm like, I have to breathe. I was like, I gotta breathe.
Yeah. I can feel the stress just in this moment. So
it's all coming back.
Smile on your face. You have a good smile on your face. So obviously you're making it through. So
yeah, it's all coming back to me. And I'm to the point where I fired my team. I'm like, you're all fired. Just go it. I'm fired. And I just took that break to the point, like I said, my body, I was just like, I don't know if I could do this again. It was just, it really. And then on top of it, I had several family members pass as well during that. During that same time, which is, and the best girlfriend. So, add that into the mix. It was really a challenging time. To the point where, like you were saying, I was like, how could I keep going? How could I keep doing this? And like I said, after, really stepping back, focusing, taking a look at, okay, where did we miss the ball? Where were we blindsided at? And really taking a look at that. Right now, everything I do gets trademarked right from the beginning. We're not missing a thing. Yeah. And I went back to the team mid-August after, they were fired. And I said, okay, come on back. And this is what we're doing. And like I said, we dealt with the trademark issue. I dealt with the trademark issue. And we now have multiple websites, so we don't have everything in one. I even went, rather than sharing, a public GoDaddy, account, I have my own account now. So if that were to crash again, holy cow, because we have plenty of space now, plenty of bandwidth now. But coming back though, I don't want to say it was weird or odd, but coming back, I started getting phone calls from people. Where were you? We missed you. What happened? What's going on? And like the show, it just blew up. We are on like 3 times more networks now. And awesome. It's just been incredible. And even my speakers bureau at the time, the gal who was working it had to step down. So I was like, yeah, just throw that on. We'll figure it all out. And I really then changed my business model where now I'm really more of a manager publicist for speakers than I am going out and actually doing speaking. And my speaking has become my show.
Right.
So, and again, these things happen. So, you really have to have, a strong stomach for it, thick skin, and, say, I'm going to make this happen. Like you said, there are so many opportunities out there, to create an entrepreneurial business. And so many people, and you probably see this too, that are in corporate, and still part of that all boys club saying, this isn't fun anymore. I want to get out. I want to do my own thing. Yeah. So, the great thing about it is, hey, give me a call. We'll help you do that.
I think
that's what we do.
Let's set that business up. We'll be the transition program for all the people that are coming from corporate that want to start entrepreneurially led businesses, and we'll help them get off the ground.
Right, and that's what they need. So yeah, we got a new business. Let's go.
Awesome.
I'm
super excited. I'm really excited to hear that you bounced back from that. Sounds like an incredibly challenging year. And
it was a very, very challenging year. And like you said, then you're sweating and it's like, oh, how am I going to pay the bills? And how am I going to do this? It worked out, it definitely worked itself out. And I got a great husband, very supportive, of course. And he wasn't going to let me quit. He was, no. He's like, no, we've been in this how long? And he's a silent partner. And he actually stepped out of corporate recently. And he's now a partner in an entrepreneurial business himself. And so, but now he comes, every week he comes, so where's the numbers at? Where's the number? I'm like, go away.
I'm glad you mentioned that, though, because I think that's a really important aspect to entrepreneurship as well, is just having your spouse or your partner on board with it, because it is, and as much as it's your business,
right.
The level of how it permeates every aspect of your life, it cannot be undervalued. And I say that, both as a husband and a young father. I mean, it's incredibly important to have your partner along for the ride and on board with that, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, because it's a huge aspect of how that process unfolds for an entrepreneur.
Right. It really is, that whole package has to fit together, because, and again, as an entrepreneur, and I think you'll agree with this, I mean, it is your life.
Yeah.
And again, we are connected. And I work with a lot of folks that are still sitting in corporate and helping them and planning to get out. So they're calling me at nighttime, or they're calling me on the weekends. So I did have to say, this is my block of time that you cannot touch me.
Right.
So, you have to protect that. You still have to have your boundaries. As an entrepreneur, you need to know that. And, unfortunately, or too often, especially when you're first starting out, it's like, I'm available all the time. You want to talk to me? I'm going to be here. But you still need to set those boundaries so you can protect that time with your family, or, other things that you want to make sure you are very well rounded. Like I said, I work out and I go to the gym, and I'll get up at 4:00 in the morning, and I'm at the gym by 4:30, but I spend a couple hours, and that's my thing for me that I have to do before I get going for the day. And then my husband does it at nighttime. So
there you go.
You figure out that balance and where it is. And we don't have young children anymore. And of course, when you have young children, you have to figure out where that plays into it as well.
Yeah, it's a whole new dimension.
Right. And I would love to keep talking, but I just realized we need to go.
I feel like we're just getting started.
I know. We're just getting started. We're going to have to do this again.
Absolutely.
Well, you're definitely welcome back here anytime. I mean, you're just, that daring mind. I mean, you're doing it differently. You're stretching the boundaries. And again, too often we do get too serious, and that's when production falls. And we need to just let that go. Don't let that hold us back. And that's what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you for acknowledging it, and thanks for having fun, and thanks for being so open with your own experience with entrepreneurship too. It's a nice change of pace, so to speak, here. So
yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, we got to share the good and the bad. I mean, that
absolutely.
Yeah, we have.
Definitely check us out on social media, Scrimmage Face-Off #, and you can win some really fun prizes for you and your guests and everybody else. And obviously, we'll throw some T-shirts in for the people who share.
All righty. Well, that's all we have for today, folks. I'm Connie Pheiff, and we will continue to move ideas forward and keep the passion of life activated. And also remember, we have some feature advertising available. So just head over to theconniepfeifshow.com to learn more on how you can broadcast your story and be heard everywhere. And if you like to learn more about being represented by Talent Concierge Agency and how you can get out of corporate and do what it is that you want to be doing, simply head over to talentconcierge.co, because we are unstoppable together. So I'll leave you with this thought for this week. Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits, and have fun. And if you like what you're hearing, I had to do this today. Like us on Facebook, subscribe with us on iTunes, tweet with us on Twitter. I wasn't quite sure with Instagram, but like us on Instagram and see us on LinkedIn. So I better just stop there. You're listening to The Connie Pheiff Show. And until next time, keep the passion of life activated. Hey, y'all, it's Connie Pheiff. Thank you for listening to The Connie Pheiff Show. Check back often. You don't want to miss any of the good stuff. If you like what you hear and would like to be a guest on the show, head over to theconniepfeifshow.com to apply. While you're there, check out our amazing advertising opportunities that will put you right in front of your perfect client. I will see you over there. Do yourself a favor this week, activate your power, and be unstoppable together.